Hello, my name is Mira and I'm the maker behind MIRAS Knits on Instagram, YouTube and TikTok. And this is knitting podcast number 7. Yeah, I don't really have a name for this knitting podcast, and I also don't do my knitting podcast like all the others, I think. I have a different order. I start with future projects or more future plans maybe, and then my acquisitions. Then I have a challenge part. I'll talk about it in this part. Then I do my works in progress. Today we have quite a few to go through, and then I'll talk about my finished objects. So yes, so today I'm wearing my Jenny jacket. I finally blocked it and wove in all the ends. I just put it on. It's too warm right now, but I put it on so I don't forget, because I wanted to ask you something, I guess. So I knitted this months ago. It was more in the beginning of my knitting journey, so yeah, I don't think I was that good. Maybe I made a mistake, I don't really know, because it looks weird on my it was decreases, I think. Yeah, so maybe you can see it here. So it pulls apart. I don't know, maybe it's the yarn, maybe it's the I knitted this in an alpaca yarn. Maybe it's because, you know, the stitches felt together, and maybe that's why they're so far apart. But yeah, I thought maybe with blocking it goes, you can't see it anymore, but it's pretty bad, and in the back it's even worse. So I thought about maybe, you know, sewing it together with the mattress stitch, but then again, these would be not, as you won't see them anymore, and most of the smoke stitches don't add up, so I think it would look weird. So yeah, and then maybe I can do it with duplicate stitch. I don't know if that helps. But yeah, maybe you have some ideas, and it would be really helpful. Yes, so maybe you can hear it. I'm still a bit sick. It's getting better. Yesterday it was worse. You can hear it in my last 1 hour knit with me. But yes, so let's start. So yeah, things I want to knit in the future, I guess I don't really have. Of course, you always have some patterns and stuff, but to be honest, right now, because maybe it's because I'm knitting on quite a few garments, I'm more into the sock thing right now. So in the future, I want to knit more socks than garments, I guess. But then maybe it's because I have a few garments, and yeah, it's not really because I have too many. It's just I enjoy socks more right now, and I knit whatever I want to, I guess. And yes, so it's more socks in the future, but maybe this changes in the course of a couple of weeks, because of course my sweaters are not finished, and maybe when they are finished you always find new patterns, and then you're like, oh no, I cast on this one, and everything changes. So I think it's hard to tell what I want to knit in the future, because you never know. Maybe I design my own sweater or things like that. Maybe because my mom, she was here this last weekend. Maybe I should have took some pictures of her garments, because she never knitted to patterns, and I learned it from her, not knitting to patterns, I guess. She knits them different. She's a button-up knitter, but she does like crazy color work, and I never know how she just does it. I don't know how. She really has no patterns, and they always look so great. And yeah, she finished one when she was here, but I forgot to take pictures. Maybe when I see her the next time, I can put in some pictures. It's just, it amazes me how she's just able. And then again, she just starts knitting. It's not even like, I would think you would have, or you need to, I guess, do some math and figure out how many stitches to cast on, and she's like, oh yeah, that should fit, and then she goes on and I guess designs it as she goes. But yeah, enough about that. So as I said, I don't really know where I'll be in the future. I guess we'll find out with my weekly updates. And yes, so no acquisitions still today, just because I guess I have enough to knit on right now, and I don't really have the feeling of casting on new things, so I'm not even looking for yarn to buy, I guess. Yeah, so we'll see. And then the next part is my challenge part. Yeah, as I said, my challenge part, so I have a 52 weeks of sock challenge for myself where I want to knit all of the socks, and right now I'm on sock 10, I think 10 or 11, something like that. I knit them in according to order, so you can watch back my videos and see them. And I even did a update from week 1 to week 4. I still have to do the update from week 5 to week 8, but right now I don't really have time to, you know, gather all the information and then all that stuff. So we'll see when I'm able to put this out. But yeah, so and with my 52 weeks of sock, I'm quite good right now. So in my last, I think for the last 3 weeks, I knitted 1 pair of socks a week. And I'm really glad that I don't have the second sock problem. Like, I guess almost every knitter hates casting on, or maybe not hates, but it's harder for them to cast on the second pair. And with me it's more, but then again maybe it's because I want to knit the next pattern, and I'll just start the next pattern when I finish the one before. So I'm always like, oh, second sock, and my second sock goes by much faster than my first sock. Normally for my second sock I need 1 or 2 days, and for my first sock it's 5 or 4. But yeah, maybe that helps. I don't know if that's the thing, or maybe more because I need socks right now because it gets cold. And but yeah, we'll see. And then since I've been sick and even couldn't knit, so I just knitted for a couple of days. I knitted on my sock, and really that was it. I wasn't in the mood, or maybe not the mood. I wasn't in the mood, but I was just so sick. I was just sleeping all day long. But yeah, so I didn't crochet on my bed cover, just because I said I'm not into crocheting that much anymore, and it's just so huge rows, and one row takes me 30 minutes. And yeah, so that's why I haven't crocheted on it, but I knitted on my socks. Yeah, so you see one in my finished objects, and of course one in my works in progress. And then again I have some questions too. But yeah, I guess we'll move on to my works in progresses. Yeah, so let's move on to the sock. I think it's called the Lampy sock. I'll get my book in a minute. So yeah, one thing. I knitted the rocking chair socks in this gray, and I was wondering why it is so huge. It's not too big, it's just really wide. And I couldn't really block it because it would get too wide, and the pattern doesn't show that much. It's the same here. It would be better if you could, you know, like this, it would be nicer, but yeah, you can see it's really loose. And I was wondering why, because I knitted with this yarn multiple pair of socks and I never had the problem. But when I started knitting on this, I found the problem because I don't know how to do this. So I think like that. Maybe you can see it, but the gray one is much bigger than the red one, or all the others, I guess. So yeah, I don't know. I heard of it with different colors and different thicknesses, but I don't really get why, because it's not like a hand-produced thing. It's just a machine that, you know, spins the yarns together, and then they were colored, dyed, not colored. But yeah, I don't know why it is, but I think that's, of course, that's the problem, why they look funky. And then again, it has color work, so these are my Christmas socks. And I put them on sock blockers because the color work turned out really tight. I should have moved up a size, that's what I normally do. but I was just too lazy and I had something else on my 3mm. So I was like, oh yeah, you just do it not as tight, but I'm not good at it, so they are tight. So yeah, I put it on the sock blockers to see if it would even fit on my feet. But it does. And yeah, so this is my, I guess, Christmassy sock. These are leftover yarns from my other sock, the red one. I knit the intersections, and then the green ones I knit the Avena socks, I think, yeah. And these are for my rocking chair socks. So you have the colorwork part, I finished it and then I started on the toe, and then I was like, oh, maybe you should try if they even fit on your foot before, you know, do the heel part and the rest. But yeah, and then I was thinking about repeating the colorwork on the foot, because the foot is just red. For me it's just red, but we'll see. Yeah, just because I have still some of the green left over, and I don't really know what to do with this less of yarn, but we'll see. So I knit these socks in La Mana, Merida. So La Mana is the brand, Merida is the sock wool, I guess. And it's wool, silk and polyamide blend. So it's 50% wool, I think 25% silk, but then 25% polyamide is quite a bit. I don't have tags anymore, so I always put my yarn and the colors and on the side of my video, so you have to read it. But yeah, I really love the yarn, but I don't think I can do the, I don't know what they're called, but the next sock is just one color, and I think I have to buy more yarn for it. So maybe we can do like a I try sock yarn, because of course I still have 42 pairs of sock left to knit, and maybe we can do like a I'll try sock yarn for you, so you don't have to buy it if you're interested. So I would love for you to put down sock yarns you want me to try, or maybe sock yarns you can really recommend. And of course it should be accessible from Germany. Of course international, it's okay when the brands have international shipping, but then I think in Germany it's not that hard to get, you know, the different kinds of yarns. I never had a problem to find the yarn yeah, I wanted or other knitters knitted with. It was just most of the time really expensive, but then again, one ball of this yarn, so 50 grams, is €7.50, I think. So one pair is 15 euros, but then again I can almost knit or I guess I can knit 3 pairs of sock out of 2 balls. So it's not just for one pair, but yeah, I can do some color work with the other socks, or maybe I do just a striped, really colorful one. But then again, I don't have that much colors. Most of the colors I bought were gray and white. But yeah, so these are my Lampy socks, and they are from, let me get the book, because it's hard to mark the designers, because most of them don't have an Instagram profile. I always try to, you know, put tag them in my pictures, but I never find their profile. But the Lampy socks are from Rachel Copey, and maybe I could show. Oh, I have to show it because here are some directions already. So these are the socks and they're finished. So the this beige part is my gray, and then the light gray is my green, and the purple is my red. But yeah, and my next socks I'll knit are the morning coffee, and they look like that. So I'm really excited for this one, and then again I'm excited for not cable, but I saw the next ones are the linear socks, and they're the have the big cabling pattern. And yeah, so but yeah, the morning coffee socks look easy because they're just knit in purls, I think, I don't know. But yes, then again the color work was fine, so now it's just stockinette left, but I have to wait until they dry because it's still a bit wet. So let's move on to my other works in progress. Yeah, I don't know what happened. I told myself I won't cast on any new things until I finished, or big garments, sweaters or cardigans, before I finished one, just because I had a couple of my cardigans in my, I guess, unfinished objects stash or corner. Yeah, because I don't know, maybe some of you have the same problem and just don't knit on things anymore because something happened or they lost joy. And that's why I created the 1 hour knit with me, because in this video part, so it's just 1 hour of me knitting and you put on your own music. Yeah, so we can knit together and you don't have to knit alone. So maybe you can look my videos up with maybe I can link the playlist down below. I don't know if that's possible. I'm not that great with the whole YouTube part. But yeah, so I knit the November jacket in these videos. And the reason why it was, so that's the November jacket. And the reason why it was in my, I guess, naughty corner is because is it hacked modded the pattern. Normally it doesn't have buttonholes in the button band, but I don't get the thing of cardigans without buttons, so I hacked the pattern to put in buttonholes, like you can see here. And then I was, I already was at that point, but I had to rip it back because I did a mistake with my spaces between them. They were just off, I don't know, like really off, not just 1 or 2 rows, like 5 or 8, and it just looked weird. So I had to rip it back. And then of course, because it's brioche, so one of the stitch you see is 2 rows, so it takes forever or quite a long time. Yeah, I was just mad and I was like, okay, bye. So, but yeah, I put it up and now I guess fell back in love with it. And yeah, so it's really nice, but it probably takes me a while to finish it because I only knit it in these videos just because I have enough to knit on right now. So yeah, I knit this in We Unknitters, the baby wool, and just the gray. So here's you can see the brioche, and it's really soft and squishy, and then it's, yeah, so I'm knitting this on 5mm needles. I don't even know if that's the needle size you're supposed to knit, and to be honest, I don't know what size I'm knitting. So when I redid or started again, I was like at this part, so I already we're in the round, or maybe it's not the round, but on the body part, so it doesn't matter. And with the arms, I think I just pick up some stitches how I normally do it, and then we'll see. But yeah, so that's all and that's why I guess I have now quite many works in progress. So my next work in progress is, and I'm really happy I made it to this point, because until this point it's always hard for me to keep up, just because maybe it's not the Wrangler, but it just takes some time. With top, I like top down knitting more, but with top down knitting you knit. It's unless you do the dropped shoulder designs, but I don't like the designs. I don't know, I'm not a fan of the dropped shoulder designs, and I'm more of the round yoke or Wrangler construction. And this is the zipper sweater man for my boyfriend. And yeah, maybe you can see it, I just closed the rounds, so I don't know, I made like 5 rows. And to be honest, it looks quite small, so I think I just knit 5 more rounds or something like that, and then put it on my boyfriend. Oh, what happened here? Because I don't know, it looks small, and I think it's supposed to have like 20 centimeters of positive ease, but I don't really know, maybe it's even 30, but it looks like 10. But then again, maybe men have a different shape. And then also the Wrangler part looks really small. So from the neck to the armhole, it looks smaller. I don't know, maybe I can put my zipper sweater over it and see. Yeah, we'll see if it fits, so maybe I can give an update on this. So yes, I'm knitting this in the drops, 2 strands of drops flora in a dark gray. I don't, maybe I know I have just the Lima color. Oh here, let's see. So it's color 05. But then again, I don't even know if it's the same color in, you know, all different states or countries. Because I feel like some of the colors are different from Germany to the US. Because sometimes when I look up what other people knit and I like the color, I Google them and they turn out different colors here. But I don't know, maybe I heard it wrong or something like that. But yes, so it's the zipper sweater. I did one alternation, so I did normally with the man pattern. It has normal ribbing, so 1 by 1 ribbing, so you knit 1 per 1, and I did a twisted ribbing just because I liked it more with my sweater. And with the zipper sweater I like that the neck is standing more up, and I don't know, I think it just looks better with twisted rib. With normal ribbing it looks weird, I think, but of course that's just my opinion. And yeah, so now I think this will go by quite fast, because yeah, one thing I don't like about the top down construction is because you have to also knit the stitches for the sleeves in the beginning before you not cut them off, but you know, you put them away kinda and just knit in the round for the body. And it's quite a lot of stitches, and with this construction you always have to knit a row and then purl a row, and I'm not into purling right now. I never had a problem before. I knitted a lot of cardigans, and of course with cardigans you always have to purl all the way, at least on the body, not on the sleeves of course. But yeah, so it was hard. This took me like 4 weeks, 3 weeks. I don't even know when I casted this on, but yeah, so it's the Christmas present for my boyfriend. He wanted to have a sweater. We'll see if he will wear it, but to be honest right now, just because I really love the color and how it's turning out, because it's more lightweight, because I guess I should knit with 2 strands of the flower in a smaller needle size, but I didn't want to, because I wanted it to be more airy. Just because my boyfriend is gets hot really easily, and when he wears my knitwear it's always too warm for him, so I think this is the better option. But yeah, so I really like how this one turns out. So if he doesn't like it or is not wearing it that much, I'm not mad, because I'm just gonna put it on. But yeah, so that's enough of my zipper sweater. Maybe we'll see how far yeah, so my camera went off. I hope I was finished with the zipper sweater, but moving on, we have the sweater number 20 by My Favorite Things Knitwear. And yeah, so I'm still on the body because I knitted on it late in the evening while watching TV, and it was dark and all these things. So I made some mistakes with the cables. Just because, you know, they all turn in different ways on different parts of the body, so it looks similar, and I made mistakes I think on the 2x2 on these ones, and even I think on the bigger ones, I don't know. But then again, for me, I'm not knitting to pattern anymore, just because I switched up a lot of the cable lengths. So for me it's not, of course the cables are in the same row, but they're always a different way, and then I have down when I need to twist which cable, because they all twist on different parts. So you have the 1x1 that twists every other round. I think these ones are every 4 rounds, and then you go up, so I don't even remember. I think 6 and then 8 the other ones, but don't quote me on that. I guess I don't know, but to be honest, I'll just see. I'm knitting and then I'm like, oh yeah, you need to do the twist here. I can see it now. I think that's just because, you know, it's only cables, I guess. You of course have to some per rows, but it's not a lot. So yeah, so that's drop shoulder construction, and I switched up the cable length just because I wanted it to look better on this shoulder part. Yeah, I think with blocking and it would look even better, but maybe you can see it. So this cable they just move on. And then, to be honest, so the huge difference you may be able to see is these ones, they go down in the back, and they of course then go up in the front. But to be honest, I like I like them going up more, but of course that's just my preference. Everybody can knit it how they want to. But yeah, and then also because it's really oversized, so I hope it's not too oversized for me, I'm knitting this in the size 2. They're just 3 sizes. My favorite things knitwear always has not that many sizes, but yeah, every podcaster talks about it, so I don't think that I have to hop on the train. Of course, it's not that great if designers are not size inclusive, but to be honest, I think it's a choice for every designer, and if they don't want to, okay. I'm grateful for everyone that does it, just because I think it's better. But then again, maybe some other people don't want to knit this huge garments in this pattern. But yeah, of course, everybody has a choice, and if they want to or don't want to, I guess, create their patterns in this many sizes, I guess that's just how they do it, and they're big enough for just doing it, I guess. So smaller designers have problems if they're not size inclusive, and all the big designers, even Petite Knit, still puts out patterns that are not size inclusive. I always feel like people roast my favorite things knitwear more, but then again, my Petite Knit also has a lot of patterns that are not size inclusive. So I think you always should, you know, talk about both, or maybe bigger pattern designers in general. But yeah, I don't want to talk a lot about this yeah, theme. And but yes, so yeah, but yeah, that's how far I am from the stitch marker here. So I don't know, I did like 2, 4, 6, so it's 12 rows. Oh, that's not a lot, but the rows are huge. And then I knitted on the zipper sweater and I was sick. But yeah, I'm knitting this in Drops Lima and Drops Kid Silk. As I said, I put the names right here. And then my last work in progress, I'll only show projects I really knitted on. I have more, but I didn't knit on them this week. So yeah, so my last work in progress is my Akenta sweater. This been off, or maybe not off my needles, but I didn't knit on this for weeks. I don't know what happened. As I said, I'm not on Sleeve Island. No, I'm not on Body Island. I'm on Sleeve Island. I have the body done or finished pretty quick normally, if I don't have many projects at the same time. But these sleeves took me a while. Maybe just because my decreases didn't turn out how I wanted to, so I didn't like how they looked. I don't really think it's the fault from the pattern. So this is by Twin Knits. I think they're really new to the designing game. But yeah, it's this pretty lace pattern. And yeah, as I said, I wasn't satisfied with my decreasing. Now I think it looks really good. So this is my decreasing, and then I don't know, I needed my arms longer. Maybe that's it's because I have really long arms. So normally I think until here you should do the ribbing, but I needed a few more rounds. So I hacked the pattern so the lace pattern turns out good. And yeah, so I just did my own decreases. I don't know if that's how you're supposed to do it by the pattern. I tried to do it according to pattern, but it didn't turn out how I want to, so that's why I did it my own. But I still have to do the second sleeve. And then again, maybe I shouldn't done it. But then again, maybe I think it was just because I was so happy I can finally do the ribbing on the body. I think my body is kind of small. I put it on and it's fine, but it could be like 1 or maybe 2 centimeters more. So we'll see if I add them. I just don't want to rip the ribbing back because it would take forever to do the redo the cast off, and then with cutting into my ribbing I had some accidents, or maybe not accidents, but I tried it and it didn't turn out great and I had to, it was just bad. So I'm not doing that again, but yeah, maybe you can see the proportion. So my sleeves are really much longer, but then again I think my arms are just quite long, so I think it's not a pattern fault, because of course when they were at the centimeter they're supposed to, I guess. I just needed that much more, so it's quite a big bit. I think it's like 6 centimeters or 7. But yeah, so I'm knitting this in the Drops Alpaca and Drops Kid Silk. I did like a huge Drops haul. And as you can see, just because I never knew it was that cheap, and I'm still a student and I'm 22 now. I had my birthday last week, so yeah, I don't really have that much money, so it's good for me to be able to buy cheaper yarns. Of course, they're not great or maybe better or good. Of course, the more expensive yarns are better for everything. But then again, I think people, some people can't afford to pay over 80 euros or 70, even 50 euros for a sweater, because with knitwear it gets really expensive, even if you want to add a mohair. So yeah, with a mohair for me, or in Germany from Knitting for Olive, and then the Knitting for Olive mohair, it's like 120 euro for whatever, for like a sweater quantity for me. And that's just too expensive. Because I guess then for this I'm too fast. I'm too fast of a knitter to pay that much for a garment. So yeah, again, that's my choice. I'm not here to roast anyone or talk bad about anyone. Even if you only can afford acrylic wool, who cares? So as long as you're proud of yourself and like what you're doing, you shouldn't care what others think. So that's just me. But yeah, I really love the color. And the camera, it always turns out more bluish. It's like it's a sage green. I love the color. To be honest, it looks really good on with my eye color, because normally I have more green eyes, but on the videos they always turn out more gray or blue. But yeah, normally they're more like this color. But then again, in the camera it looks too blue. So it's really a sage green. But yeah, so it's a lace pattern. It's not my first lace thing I knit, but it's my first lace like this. So this lace is first. But then again, I guess you never knit the same lace pattern again. But yes, so that's for the Canto sweater by Twin Knits. And now we move on to my finished objects. Ooh. Oh no. Oh, I think I just broke my jacket. We'll see later. But yeah, so my finished object, hey, are the Imka socks. It's again a cable pattern. So you have the honeycomb cables here, like all over the sock in the front and the back, and then they go all over, and then you have smaller cables on the sides. Yeah, so I'm dumb. I put it on a sock blocker so it's easier for you to see, because they look like a baby sock. so small. But yeah, so you have the normal, the honey lay cables, and then you have a small, I think it's a 1x1, yeah, it looks like a 1x1 cable, and then you just have a big half you fold over. So yeah, I knitted them again in the Lamana Merida. It's color 00, and yeah, I really love this yarn, and I don't know why. Maybe, and not maybe, it's not practical, but I fell in love with knitting white socks. I don't know why, because white socks always get so dirty. I should show you my Unity socks, because I also knitted them in this yarn, and yeah, they are dirt. They are brown on the heel. Yeah, I have to wash them, but then it's fine with wool. It's not that bad. And yes, so I knitted them with the third ball I had left over from my Unity socks. So I guess then again I have still some left. So I think I'll need like 75 grams for one pair of sock. Of course, it depends on the pattern you're doing. But yes, I don't really know what to talk about them. So they're they're toe up. They don't look like it because I always have this thingy out because I don't use stitch markers on socks. I just do the start where I started. That's where I begin the round, and I do magic loop, so it's not that hard to see where your beginning is. And yes, so I love the toe up more than the top down with socks. No, they're top down. Toe up. No, they're toe up. And I also like the heel part more. I know it makes the socks look longer, but I guess that's just how I like it. But yeah, again, that's just me and my opinion. But yeah, so they are the Unity socks. Let me look up who designed them. No, not Unity socks. Imka socks. Nele Druids. I'll put it down. All the names in these books are hard to pronounce. So, but yes, so I guess that's it for now. Really hope my video quality is better this time. I don't know what happened the last time with my camera. Did something wrong. I tried it out before, so let's hope it turns out great. But yeah, so I'm really thankful for everyone that watches my knitting journey. I post one, I guess, knitting podcast every week. It's more of an update, maybe podcast diary, however you want to call it. Just because I want to see my progress week by week. I feel like when you do just one a month, you always forget things. And yeah, I want to talk about the maybe not so interesting things, but interesting for me, maybe. I have some wool in my mouth, I'm sorry. But yeah, so I try to upload one every week. We'll see if I'm able to do it next week, because I'm visiting my grandpa in Bavaria, and it's in the very south of Germany, and I'm living on the Baltic Sea, and it's like the widest part you can travel in Germany. So we have to leave on Thursday evening, and I normally record my podcast on Thursday. So we'll see, because today is Sunday, so it's only 4 days, something like that, for me to knit something or earn something, and we'll see if I even have progress to show. Yeah, and then again I have to catch up on some uni work because I was sick and wasn't able to do stuff. So we'll see. If I have a knitting podcast, I'll record a 1 hour knit with me for sure, because my exams come closer, and I want this 1 hour knits with me, for me to study, for you to study, of course. But yeah, I record them for me to study with, just because I guess it's easier when you see yourself doing some things and don't you're not alone. So yeah, I keep this video shorter. This one turned out longer than my other ones. Yeah, maybe you like watching the long knitting podcast, but yeah, that's just me, and because I do one every week, of course I'm not able to talk for 1 hour. And yeah, I feel like I'm rambling right now. So we finished this video here. I'm really thankful for everyone that comments, likes, and everything on my videos on Instagram and of course TikTok. And yeah, I'm thankful for you all, and I'll see you the next time. Bye!